Hello and welcome to Soul Sensations. Today I am chatting with a very good friend of mine, jazz diva Miss Sharon Marie Cline. Hello Sharon.
Hi Steve, how are you?
I'm good. It's lovely to hear your voice again.
I know, yours too. Hello across the pond. Hello to everyone across the pond.
The big blue one. Right, first things first. For those who missed our first interview, which I do believe was about 2 years ago now, and do you want to tell our listeners where you were born and a little bit about your childhood?
Sure. I was actually born in Los Angeles, but I grew up on the East Coast in Florida, in a city called Jacksonville, Florida, which is booming now because they have their own football team called the Jacksonville Jaguars. But back in the day when I was there was no football team, so it was a small town. It was a small suburban town, and I grew up there. And my mom encouraged me because I was very shy to get into arts and music, and that's kind of how my relationship with music began. Was through her really supporting me to express myself through the arts.
Yeah. So when did you start singing jazz? Or did you go straight into jazz, or did you sing any other genre of music before you fell in love with jazz?
Well, yeah, I've done lots of other types of music, pop music of the day. I actually grew up singing opera. I was in a local opera company, and I got my degree in music and theater, and I did a lot of musical theater while I was being exposed to jazz in college. And my thesis for graduating was actually a nightclub act. I had a performance thesis. When you're a performance major, that's what you do. Performance is your thesis to graduate. Yes. And so I created a nightclub act around the great jazz music of the 30s and 40s, and I performed music from like Harold Arlen to Hoagie Carmichael. I even threw in a little Stephen Sondheim, but I did it jazzily because I was in the theater department, Yeah. So that's where I kind of started to move towards jazz in college, and then right out of college, I started going to jam sessions and sitting in on nightclub acts, and that's kind of how I immersed myself into the world of jazz, was through that experience.
Yeah. So who were your musical mentors? Or who are your musical mentors now?
Yeah, I would now and then. Back then, like when I was in college and growing up, I would say Nancy Wilson, the great jazz artist Nancy Wilson. I loved Duke Ellington, and I loved the Count Basie Orchestra. I could just be in my living room cleaning and doing my chores, and I could imagine the entire orchestra. I could just see all the instruments. So I love to listen, to how all the music created pictures in my mind, what the songs meant. So I kind of developed early on that kind of relationship with it. And then my other mentors are Sarah Vaughan, Frank Sinatra, Chet Baker, more currently Diana Krall and Michelle Farrell and Diane Reeves. But I grew up loving the greats.
Yeah, I love Sarah Vaughan. Her voice is beautiful. It's beautiful. So let's go on then. Let's have a look at this. Now, here's one for you. How would you describe your style? Because I know you've got a distinctive style, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, many have called it mellifluous, which is like honey, kind of. But I would say I'm a soulful jazz singer. I sing with a lot of emotion. And I connect to the sensuality and the dreaminess of the music that I sing. So that is the quality. It isn't just about being rhythmic. It isn't just about only communicating story, but it is really about the sensual experience of the song. So that is why I kind of coined the phrase soul jazz.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. It's a soulful, jazzy sound.
So who are these bad boys of jazz then?
Yeah, my bad boys of jazz. I have this saying whenever I perform live, and I have all my guys behind me, and I always say, behind every great woman are a bunch of guys. you know, who can play some good music. And my bad boys of jazz are incredible musicians in their own right. They play with some of the biggest names around. They do a lot of touring, so like I usually have a couple of piano players, a couple of bass players, a couple, you know, of each, drummers and guitar players and sax and trumpet players. So just in case anyone's on tour, I'm never hung up, you know, or in case I'm going somewhere, you know, they don't have to worry about conflicting schedules. So my guys are consummate jazz musicians in their own rights. Most of them have their own albums, and they play with great other artists. Notably, notably Rich Eames on keyboard and piano. He's my music director currently. We do a lot of the writing together. John Stewart, he's my main drummer, and he also helps us with arranging on some of the really cool derangements that I do, which I'll talk about later. Yeah. And Adrian Rosen on bass, as well as Adam Cohen and Gary Wicks, who tours with Manhattan Transfer. And then guitar, Dorian Murillo. He's an amazing Brazilian guitarist. And on trumpet, Jonathan Dane, who sounds like Chet Baker, and he's a wonderful instrumental complement to my voice. Often I'll sing a pure tone and he'll play it, and we just like hold them like forever, like and match our tone. It's a really kind of fun thing. I work with fantastic guys. And on percussion, Victor Orlando, he's played with the Gap Band, tours with Santana, many people. So yeah, some great guys who collaborate with me on.
So really some big names there, man. Actually, I'm sure I've met two of those guys. When I met you, not the first time, the second time, at I'm going to get this wrong here. It's Figaro in downtown LA.
Yeah, on that outside venue. Yes.
That's it. Who?
Yeah, you met my drummer. You met my drummer, John Stewart, and you met my piano player, Rich Eames. And I think Gary Wicks was there. Gary was there too. Gary, the one who tours with Manhattan Transfer, he was there too.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, that was a great session. I was sat there. Yeah, it was. I was like, I had me. What did I have? I had something. I think it was margarita again.
Yes, probably.
It should be allowed that, you know. Right.
Yeah.
Now, Sharon, what is the Sharon Marie Cline experience? What exactly is it?
Well, you know, I approach music from the standpoint of a communication and, an experience and an interplay with me and my audiences and my bands. So the Sharon Marie Cline experience is about a journey through your emotions, through music. So it's usually joyful, it's usually romantic, and it's always love-based, whether it's about universal brotherly love, whether it's about aspirational love, whether it's about the love that you've lost and you can't get over, or the love that's passed and you appreciate it because it made you a better person, or the love that you're in and you just feel so darn yummy. You know, it's about all of that. It's about all of that. That's the Sharon Marie Cline experience, is just staying really in touch and connected to the love. And there's joy, there's laughter. I interact with my audiences, and generally they leave saying that they have gone through an experience that they will remember, and they feel better leaving the room than they came in. So that's the Sharon Marie Cline experience.
Now, that leads me into the next question I'm going to ask you. Recording videos versus live performances, which do you prefer? And do you approach the music in a different way when you're doing a recording in the studio to when you're in an intimate club atmosphere or in front of a large audience?
Yes, good question. They're all different. An intimate experience is almost always my preferred experience, just because you can really bare your soul in a different way, and you can really feel the connection with another. So I love performing in intimate clubs, and it is a different experience for me than performing for a huge, like say at a jazz festival, huge audience. Now I love that as well because because if you're really connected, there's this amazing like electric energy that comes from the audience, that hits you, that comes through you, that hits them, and it just kind of recycles, and it's different. But you play a lot bigger when you play for a big audience, and there's not always time or room for a nuance that you can get in an intimate experience in a small jazz club or in a recording. When you're in a recording studio, it's just you and the intimacy of the song the music that you're either playing with the other guys in their booths or you're hearing through your phone, and you're communicating to that microphone that is a surrogate for the other person that you're singing to. It's that in quotes kind of ambiguous other that you're pouring your heart into. So there's a depth of intimacy in that and room for a lot of nuance that you can't get in a big stadium show. So I guess if I have my druthers, I do prefer the intimate experience because I'm kind of an intimate person. I'm better in small groups, but I can't say I like. I don't discount how amazingly powerful it is to share your voice, to share your energy, and to share in the energy in a huge group. There's nothing like that either.
No. So let's move on to this one. Now we're going to talk in depth in the second part of our interview about your new tracks and your ventures. But until then, your first hit, "Sugar on My Lips." Who wrote it, and what was the reason behind it?
I wrote it. I wrote the song with two other great guys. I was taking a musical, a songwriting class at the time, and my songwriting teacher, my music director, Rich Eames, and I wrote the song together. I was in his Mark Winkler's class. He's a well-known songwriter, and he challenged us all to come up with a winning song title. And I came up with "Sugar on My Lips," and he was like, "Ooh, that's really special." And it kind of came from like, it's a sexy thing, and I used to call people sugar lips, if I really liked you, you'd be like sugar lips. And so so then I'm like, how can I make it so sugar, like the sugar that my sugar lips would give me, his sugar would be on my lips. So I came up with that, and my songwriting teacher loved it so much, he pushed me to write the song because he was like, that is a winning title. He said, if you don't write it, I will. And he goes, and actually, I want to help you because I want to be a part of it. So we got together with Rich Eames, and we kind of got in the studio, and Mark and I started tossing out lyrics, and Rich kind of, I started describing the mood. That's kind of what I do when I work with Rich. I tell him the kind of feeling that I want to go after, and I said, I want this to be really bluesy and sultry and just, and kind of a seduction. This is a seduction. So I started throwing out kind of like melody lines and playing with my my range because I have a very wide range. I can sing very low. I have almost a 5-octave range. So I started singing like really low. And then Mark started getting some ideas, and he started throwing out some things, and he kind of acted as the director kind of the piece. And we just started playing with it. And so the intent was to talk about kind of like that naughty kind of forbidden love. It's like, it feels so good, but it shouldn't,
Yeah.
it shouldn't feel this good, and if you keep doing it, you don't know how, what's going to happen. And so we just kind of started playing with that, and that's how "Sugar on My Lips" evolved.
So when you're doing your songwriting, do you prefer to write the song first, then put the arrangement to it later? Or do you do the arrangement first and then put the song, the lyrics to the music? which do you prefer, and what's the best way do you go about it, or
I like to lead. Well, just become kind of intertwined, but I like to come up with the lyric idea at least first, because we go through, even in Sugar on My Lips, we went through several revisions on the lyrics, you know, like changing the words just to, this is a little bit smarter, this sounds a little sexier, this has a better double entendre in there, you know.
Yeah.
But I like to start with the lyrics and the intent, and then start to describe the feeling tone so that we can get to the music. You know, I describe the feeling of it so that we can find the music, and then they start to work in tandem together. Then it's like, okay, now we got this. Okay, well, the lyrics need to be adjusted just a little bit because I really love where you know the music is going right here, and I think we need to actually go to this, you know, to this section here, and the rhythm needs to change there. So let me see how I can change the lyrics, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what? Right? This is. I think there's four answers to this question. All right. Okay. What brings you joy? What brings you peace? What fires you up? And what is sexy to you?
Oh, I should really think about this. What brings me joy?
Yeah.
So many things bring me joy. But being at the height of my creativity brings me joy. Being able to collaborate, being able to express myself, what's in my soul, brings me such great joy. Connecting with another human being, that brings me joy. What was the next one? What brings you peace?
What brings you peace?
Stillness, the quiet nature. That brings me peace. My greatest peace is when I can just step away, go out to the beach, have a look at the ocean, breathe in and breathe out, and just be still. That brings me peace to be able to be in my creative process. So it's really essential to me.
So what fires you up?
Well, we can talk about that later. But there are lots of things, other things that fire me up. Firing me up and bringing me joy. You know what? What fires me up in a really great way is when something I've sung has touched another person, human being, or inspired someone to do something. That really fires me up. When we're on to something musically, I get fired up and excited to do more. When I have an opportunity to share love through what I do best, that fires me up and keeps me going.
So finally, before we go break for music, what is sexy to you?
Being real. Being authentic. Yeah, being authentic, being myself. Being whoever I'm with, and if he's himself, that's sexy. And not afraid, and unafraid.
Unafraid. Right. I'll throw them at you there. But yes, we'll have a chat about the firing up later on. Now, what we're going to do is we'll have a break for music, all right, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes' time, and we'll chat about what your process of deranging a song means, and also some of the events that you've got going, and also, most of all, your new single that you're releasing, and that new video as well. How does that sound?
Wonderful. Sounds fabulous.
Right. I'll speak to you soon, Sharon.
Thanks, Steve. Having fun.
Bye now. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of Soul Sensations. Yes, once again, I'm back in the studio with Miss Sharon Marie Cline. Welcome back, Sharon.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Now, you've got your own process of songwriting or rearranging. So what is this dearranging a song process? What do you mean by that when you dearrange a song?
Yes. Yeah, I call what I do when I create new arrangements of familiar tunes, I call it deranging. It's just my own little word. I dearrange, but we take something familiar and we create something fresh and we bring a new perspective to it. So I'll take a song like, say, Laughter in the Rain, which is one of my well-known, I know you like it, you play it a lot.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, thank you. So it's a Neil Sedaka tune from the 70s, and I turned it into something that was dreamy and sexy and full of jazz kind of harmonic chords that kind of give you I don't know, they caress your emotions in a different way. So I really got a chance to expand the song out, and so that's why I take something that is familiar and I make it new. So I call it deranging because it's a rearrangement and a reimagining of something classic that still honors what the heart of the original song, but it's distinctive in that it's something new. Something, we create something new from it. It's a new community. And so, but it's very important to me because many people try to do new arrangements of songs, but it's very important to me that I honor the heart of what the original songwriter was communicating. But it's just as important to bring my own artistry to it. So I work with with both my piano player, Rich Eames, and John Stewart. John's worked with us on a few derangements, but specifically worked with us on Laughter in the Rain. And we kind of came up with a way of suspending time, playing, taking one measure, taking it over three to kind of just expand that kind of dreamy quality of what it feels like remembering strolling with someone you love on a country road with a summer rain shower kind of, falling down on you, so that you could actually take the time to feel and imagine what all that feels like, and to be in that moment with it. Whereas in the original song, it kind of went by you fast. It was just like you're strolling along country roads with my, with my song, it's like a conversation. I'm sharing with you what that felt like, and then you could feel what it feels like. So that's what most of my derangements do. I've deranged many songs. Laughter in the Rain, Love Dance by Yvonne Lenz. I created a nice Afro-Cuban kind of sensual bed for that song to lie on. To just move on. It just got this kind of like pulse underneath it that is just like, you can imagine like some kind of ritualistic dance while you listen to the song. And then most recently, I did another song called Summer Love a year or so ago. That was a Neil Diamond song that, again, we just created like this kind of sensual, humid remembrance of like when you're on vacation somewhere and you meet somebody, and it's that kind of summer love that can ensue. That you don't get that exact. You don't get to explore all those emotions and all those feelings in the original song because those songs feel more confined. And the purpose of my deranging is to give space to that, to the heart of the song.
No, you knew. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say your new single, Close to You. All right.
Yes.
Now, when you first sent that to me, it's a fair few months back now. I thought it's not very often I get these tracks sent to me, but hairs on the back of the neck stuck up, and it was beautiful. And it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite Carpenter's track.
Thank you.
How do I do this? How did you actually pick that song, right? And what does it mean to you?
Sure. Close to You is one of my favorite derangements that we've done to date, and I appreciate that you enjoy it as well. So I've always loved the purity of Karen Carpenter, and I've always loved the music of Burt Bacharach. And I, listened, to that song through growing up and, beyond, listening to oldies. And there's such a sweetness about that love, that kind of love, being close to you. And I felt like I wanted to put my own spin on it because there's so many things that can be felt about either someone wanting to be close to someone who has a crush, like wishing they could be near someone, or missing someone that you used to be close to, or the closeness of, I have that person and how amazing it is that I have you. There's so many levels. I felt in the Karen Carpenter version that it stayed on the part where I'm just so lucky to be close to you. But I just know that especially as our world has become more and more complex, there's many more levels of it I wanted to address. So I think that's why I chose it. I thought it was my opportunity to share many levels of that kind of lovingness, the open-hearted nature of really taking someone into your heart, and whether it's joyful or longing or satisfying or exciting. There's so many ways to look at it, and I think I do that in the song. And that's why I also gave a lot of space for that expression. And even when we have a video coming out of it, and in the video, it's really about me sharing lots of different levels of feeling that kind of love close to someone. It's really from the point of view of the individual. It's not about showing couples in love or what nature brings to love. It's universal from a very personal standpoint. So when I love someone, sometimes I'm almost frustrated by the love. Sometimes if I'm not near them, I feel I'm vulnerable by that love. I'm made vulnerable. So I get to express that in the video. So it's really about that celebration of that. I felt at the heart of it, again, Karen Carpenter is so pure that that she was expressing that, and I really wanted to pay honor to her. It's another reason why I chose the song, and then take it to the next level. I'm sure I have much more to say, but I can't think of it right now.
I was going to bring up the video itself, because is it a storyboard video, or is it just, it is a storyboard, but you don't want to say much about it because you want people to see it, don't you?
No, not at all. I don't mind sharing. It's not a storyboard video. It's not a video with it's not a video with a story. When the director approached me about wanting to bring this to to video, the director's name is Elisa Banks. She created this video. Her vision, which is a vision I aligned with, and she's done a couple of my videos. Her vision I aligned with was, let's make it very personal. Let's make it about how people identify, and now that it's personal, let's make it about a lot of different ways, not all the ways, because there's so many ways to experience love. But when you're in love with someone, that maybe you're a little irritated that everyone wants them too, or you're really vulnerable because you can't believe how much love you feel, or you're so joyful and you just want to tell them about it and share that. And so the point of view of the video is from my point of view, the girl's point of view of this is love, this is how I feel about being close to you. So it's lots of montages of emotion, more than anything. It's a little love fest.
a mini love fest, a mini love fest on video.
Exactly.
No, it's. Am I right in saying it's currently number 2 in the jazz charts? Or
yes, on Reverb Nation, number 2 in the Los Angeles jazz charts for Reverb, and then also nationally I'm number 9 for this song, and globally I'm number 9. And so it's really great. And as number 2, I've been in LA. I've been number 2 for 8 weeks in a row, which is kind of a nice little
that is good.
Honoring.
That is really good.
Yeah. Something to celebrate. Yes. So let's see if I can keep growing to number 1.
You will. Once the video's launched, I'm sure it'll prompt everybody to go out and buy the CD.
Yes.
By the way, where can they get the CD from?
You can get it on iTunes.
Is it download only, or is it CD as well?
Actually, you can order the CD and get the CD as well from me from my website. also from cdbaby.com. You can just put in Sharon Marie Cline, close to you. Go to my website, click the link. It will show, my website is SharonMarieCline.com. You can see all the music retailers, CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon. You can buy it as a physical or a download. iTunes, you just download. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Google Play. Most music retailers, you can find the song and download it.
And that's the same places where they can get all your other music as well.
Yes, all my music and all those retailers.
Great stuff. Can you tell me about the Navigate with Your Heart and My Heart Song community?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you know, and as anyone who's been following me know, that I'm all about the love, and I know it can sound corny, but I truly am about being a heart-centered person and leading with your heart. And I definitely feel in this day and age, as we progress through these years that we have been in, living through politically and culturally, that the focus, part of my job is to stay focused on love and leading with the heart and reminding others to move from their heart. So Navigate with Your Heart is a movement that I began last year. I have a T-shirt line. You have one of my T-shirts.
I've one of your T-shirts. I'll go for your magnets as well.
And magnets and cups, soon to be hats. Just, there's a big red heart surrounded in orange and yellow. It's not too feminine. It's still got it's still just about heart. Heart is not male or female. It's just heart. And so I really believe that you can't go wrong if you move through something through your heart space. That does not mean you lead with emotion and you use no logic. It's just that you need to check in with your heart and center with your heart and bring your mind into your heart so that you can make choices and decisions and live in your life joyfully through that lens of where your heart can lead you. So I just want to always remind people of that. And then my Heart Song community, I began before that because I believe everyone has a song to sing, a place where their heart resonates. And that's a community I created online. It's myheartsongcommunity.com. You can go and share insights. You can create your own profile and, post what you want about it. But it's just, again, reminding us all that our heart is important. Our love is important. Community is important. And I've gotten song ideas from people who like to go to My Heart Song and say, hey, I'd love to hear you sing about this. Or other people share their poetry on there. I just feel like I said, we all have a song to sing, whether it's an actual song or just something to say, or an appreciation of each other. And I honor that in everything I do. And it's a big part of how I perform. So I try to keep that represented online as well.
So what have you got coming up over the next year?
Ooh. Well.
Are you allowed to tell me? I
could tell you some of the things. I am working on I'm working on collaborating some, and I think within the next year I'll be collaborating with some different types of artists and maybe releasing singles here and there, or maybe I'll do a video here and there's something that maybe I'll promote just online, depending on which collaborations they are, but whether it's, pairing with another music director who might want to bring out another sense of something with me, doing some songwriting I'm doing right now with a couple different musicians. So I feel like I'm in the time of even greater collaboration. It's like I bring my idea, you bring your idea. Let's see what we create that's, bigger than both of us. So I have quite a few of those connections happening, and I think they're in seeds planting, and I feel like they're going to really have taken root soon and will start to bloom in early 2019. So you'll probably be seeing lots of little things from me that you may not have expected to see from me in my collaborations with other artists. So that's on the horizon. So that one's ambiguous. I have some really fun dates. I'm going to be performing on the 18th at a wonderful theater in Inglewood, California, with Wayne Lindsay's group. He's a wonderful. Most people know who Wayne Lindsay is. Music producer and piano player, and Ronnie Laws is going to be headlining it, and I'm going to be working with them and performing at that concert and doing a song with Jamin Laws, which is Ronnie Laws' son. So we're doing a song together. And you can find information about that on my website, SharonMarieCline.com. I'll be at Catalina Jazz Club on my own, doing my own special Love Fest in November of this year. And,
I love the Catalina.
Yeah, Catalina is so great. Sorry I couldn't do it when you were here. Darn it, I just missed you. You know.
I know.
We'll find something to do when you're here. And then let's see, I have a lot of little. I perform every month somewhere. I'm going to be in Orange County on the 17th of August, and in September, the third week in September, performing at Bayside. It's a wonderful venue out in Newport Beach. So I'll be performing all around, and then I'm excited about being asked back to the Merc in Temecula February 28th of next year. I'll be doing a gig there. I was just, last time we were sold out. It's a really wonderful jazz room. So if anyone's interested, you should get your tickets now for the Merc, February 28th. But that's going to be on my site as well. So please just keep checking me out on social media. I have a Facebook page, Sharon Marie Cline, a music page. I'm also on Instagram, Sharon Marie Cline, and Twitter, I'm Divine Ms. Cline, MZ, CLINE. Yeah, and you can stay in touch with me, and because there's always something new, fun popping up. I like to do pop-up things. So
can I plant a seed now?
Sure.
I've known Eloise Laws now for quite a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering, used to performing together or singing together. I would like to see that. I would like to hear that.
I would too. She's amazing. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put that out there. Let's plant that.
Put it out there. What I'll do is I'll email Eloise as well, and I'll tell her that I've just been interviewing you, and I'll say, Eloise, come on. Well, I think the last time I met Eloise was at the Holland Does Your Holland paving ceremony on the Hall of Fame. Yes, I'm going to get in touch with her tomorrow or later on today and see if I can get it all hooked up. Yeah, because I think that
sounds great. Yeah, I think that'd be really wonderful. Good.
So, where do you find yourself in 5 years' time?
Blissfully happy. That's what I see. Blissfully happy. I'll be performing, doing engagements around the world. I'll probably come to your neck of the woods. You'll hear me on the radio. I think I will be working smarter, not harder. I will be breathing in life and then exhaling beautiful songs and music and offerings to share with people. I think it'll just be more of the same, but more elegant and more.
And more. more of the love fest good stuff.
Yes, more love.
More love. Finally, Sharon, have you any thank yous or messages you'd like to pass on while you're here?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you to you, Mr. Steve Harris, for one. You are so supportive, and thank you for sharing my music often, and as often as you do. I'm very grateful for all of your support.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, Sharon.
Yeah. Thank you, and I love what you do. I like to thank my band, who is extraordinary. All my bad boys of jazz, who I actually wouldn't be as bad a girl of jazz as I am if it weren't for them. It's because of them and the foundation and the support they give me that allows me to kind of run free and create. And Rich Eames especially, my music director, I'm really grateful for. Robin Parker, my new manager, I'm really grateful for the exciting things she has lined up for me and the journey that we're on. Elisa Banks, who has been a wonderful, she's been my photographer, videographer,
You've done some lovely stuff with your mind.
Yes. She's an amazing creative director. She just has such an extraordinary eye and in a way, and she knows how to share me. She really gets to the essence of what I have to offer. So I really want to thank her for all of her steadfast work and this beautiful video she's just created, Close to You. I'm excited to share with the world and continue to share the success of Sugar on My Lips, which is the first video she created for me. So I'm very grateful to her, and I'm grateful to all of the fans, everyone who listens to me, who reaches out to me on Facebook and Instagram and on my concerts and on YouTube. I try to answer each and every one of them as much as I can, and those that I don't know, that I'm thinking and grateful for you, because why else would I do this but to touch another heart? And so I'm so grateful.
Sharon, as always, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. And when I arrive in September, I'll finish off that bottle of tequila.
Absolutely. And there'll be a fresh one waiting, too.
Oh, you're down to it already.
No, I still have a little of that left, but we need a fresh one.
Yeah, we have to hit prison bottle. Sharon, once again, many thanks, darling. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.